Hold on, I'm trying.
Oh my God. Now that is so cool. Apparently it was 13 degrees last night, and I can't stand that. I hate this time of year. I can't wait for it to be over, and we have a long way to go until spring. Our turtles are under ice. We can't use our hose because we don't have water hooked up yet to the building, one project at a time. It usually doesn't get this cold, so we usually don't have to worry about not being able to use the hose. So come with me. Let's go see what we're up against out here. You want to know how cold it is? How many layers are you wearing? Show everybody.
2, 3. Oh, and I got these on. These are my slippers inside
Nice.
my boots.
Nice.
Yep.
See what I mean, guys? It's not usually this cold here, even in January, so this is rough. So what we do is we go around on these wonderfully bitter, frigid days, and we make sure that there's no problems because a very large portion of our collection of turtles and tortoises are sleeping out here in this. We don't get to do that. We have to stay awake this whole time. So we're gonna start with this little aquascape ecosystem that has Reeves turtles. The Chinese box turtles are sleeping in the forested area, so we don't have to worry about them. But I see something that is really interesting that I want to show you guys. Right here is a turtle that looks as though it's dead. It's kind of like just suspended underwater under this thin layer of ice. That's a Chinese Reeves turtle, but she is perfectly fine. She's brumating or hibernating underneath the water, and this is how much I love you guys. I'm gonna actually stick my arm in the cold water and get you some GoPro of it. Well, the high today is 22 with a real feel of 9.
Oh, I'm so excited right now.
Yeah, I know you're excited. You love when I do things like this. Okay.
Make sure it's on.
It's on.
Okay. Oh.
Now you can see she's moving. She just pulled her head back in because she is in fact very much alive. And when the ice forms over the ponds like this, some of the turtles actually move around and come closer to the surface, and they'll even bask because the sunlight comes through the ice, creating a little bit of that greenhouse effect, and the animals get a little bit of warmth. And oh God, I dropped the GoPro. I can't feel my hand. There's some science for you.
Go get it.
Oh my God. All right, we gotta warm up first. I can't do this again yet. This hurts. This hurts a little bit. So we're gonna move on to another pond, and we're gonna see if we can see any other turtles doing what that Reeves turtle was just doing. Turtles during this time that hibernate or brumate in the water, they have such low energetic needs that they can stay dormant or in a torpor of sorts for such an extended period. And they absorb oxygen through the skin and of course through their cloaca, which is their butt. And it's pretty amazing because these animals literally need nothing as long as there's oxygen in the water, which is why we have some of the ponds flowing with either pumps or aerators. And that's it, they just kind of wait it out. They don't eat, they do absolutely nothing else. But because it's more of a brumation and not a true hibernation, these animals can actually become active during warmer days. And we'll even see our spotted turtles and Blanding's turtles basking on rocks in the middle of February because the temperature got to 50 degrees or sometimes even 60, 65. So here we are, pond number 2. Let's see what we see. Wow, this has gotta be like the coldest day of the year. I can't see it getting any colder than this. Wow. It's already gonna warm up tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be like 45. And then by next week, it's gonna actually hit 60. So it's just, South Jersey's crazy. It's up and down. But this is frigid. Aha! A turtle. That, friends, right there, that is a brumating northern red-bellied turtle. Whoops. Now that animal, you okay there? Yeah. You are in the water now. Casey's in the water. Let me show people how dedicated you are. Look at this. See this? See what we do for you guys?
why I wear my boots.
Yeah, but see, if you had regular sneakers on, people would really know how much you appreciate them.
I think they get it.
So before the ice formed, this turtle was completely under that mud and we had no idea it was there. But because the ice is formed, it's actually started coming up and out a little bit. And when the sun is directly over this pond, it will probably come even closer to the surface. Really amazing stuff that in this incredibly frigid temperature, they're still capable of moving. So, when you set up your ponds in a natural manner, the animals have so many awesome places to hide that it's hard to find them. And that doesn't matter the season. Even in the middle of summer, it can be hard for me to find our animals. But I've told you guys so many times that that's honestly what you want to see. You want these animals to be able to find refuge, stay hidden. They can get away from each other, because even in massive pens like this, the animals can still easily find each other. And by having so many visual barriers and naturalistic things for them to hide under or in, they can stay de-stressed, and that's what you want. So I don't see anybody right now. That's of course a good thing. If anybody was exposed to this frigid air, we would have a major problem and the animal would really be dead already. So let's keep moving on.
No way.
Hurry.
Hold on, I'm trying. Do you think I could get closer?
Yeah, slowly. Don't get your shadow on him. Now that is so cool. That is one of our common snapping turtles. It's either Unit or Janet. We're not quite sure because we can't get that close to it to see which one it actually is. Coming up for air on this incredibly frigid day. So this pond is in the sunnier portion of the yard where a lot of the tortoise pens where tortoises are actually hibernating is backed up to. And this is just naturally the warmer portion of the yard. So what's going on here is we've got a thin layer of ice, but the aerator in there is keeping a big open hole in the ice. And what one of these snapping turtles did was make its way probably over to under the ice, warm up just a little bit from that greenhouse effect, and then made its way out to the center of the pond to actually come up for air. Snapping turtles are literally designed to be the ultimate survivors. Unchanged since the time of the dinosaurs, and this is how they do it. It doesn't matter what's going on, these animals can figure it out. Whether it's extremely hot or extremely cold, which happens right here in New Jersey, these animals can handle it. So that was so cool that we actually got to see one being active in these temperatures. Really awesome. You don't see that every day. Yet another amazing thing to see. Again, warmer portion of the yard, marginated tortoises are brumating or hibernating in this pen right here. And inside this cold frame that they can come and go out of as they please, this is so nice and warm because of the sun coming through the polycarbonate panels. But it's not warm enough to wake the tortoises up. However, look at this, right here, just barely below the surface is an adult marginated tortoise. And although the animal is not as warm as the hay or straw that was on top of him, that animal is definitely warmer than the ground. So what it's doing is it's regulating itself by essentially subconsciously moving to the surface or descending. So if it gets a little bit warmer, like when the sun comes out during the day and it passes through these panels, the tortoise will subconsciously make its way up to the surface just a little bit. But then when the temperature falls, it again will subconsciously go deeper underground. It's just incredible that they know what to do. No worries here. I'm a little worried. Dev was here. Where is she now?
What's all the fresh dirt about?
That's what I mean. I don't understand what happened. Oh my gosh.
What?
She actually got up and moved. Look at this, guys. This is gonna be hard to see, but this is Dev. She is our giant Ibera Greek tortoise. And she actually moved from this corner where I knew she was sleeping and moved herself over to this corner. And she's perfectly fine and alive and actually even reactive to me. So that right there is a prime example of why it's often referred to as brumation and not hibernation, because the animals are not in a true, complete state of inactivity. They can move at any given time, and all it takes is just a little bit of warmth and they'll do it. This pond always makes it so easy to see what's actually going on during the winter in what would otherwise be a secretive lifestyle. These animals in nature, you don't really get to see them during this time of year, but in this pond, because it's so crystal clear and well designed, we can actually see these animals actively in their state of dormancy, if that makes any sense. And I can see a bunch right now. I can see wood turtles, I can see Blanding's turtles. Let's take a closer look, and yes, I will stick my arm in this pond for you guys too with the GoPro. Oh my God. It'll go numb soon, right? How are these fish doing this? Look at them all. Oh my God. Woo!
Hey, you know what you could do right now? You could tell people why it's important that they're staying safe underwater and not in the cold air. Like your arm.
So it's actually dangerous for these turtles is the frigid air and being exposed to it. That is what could actually get them very sick or even kill them. Staying in the water keeps them at a safe temperature and a proper level of activity or inactivity. And I highly doubt there's a turtle that would do something as dumb as I just did. So yeah, really cool to see this. And I see one other really cool shot I want to get you guys of a wood turtle under the water, and then we're gonna go warm up. Okay, here goes. Oh my God. I'm just gonna put that down for a minute. Oh, look how red my hand's getting. I hope you guys are warm. I'm gonna get the camera, okay? Are we good?
Yeah.
All right, that's all she wrote. Okay, it's a new day. I got the hose thawed out so we can finally use that. There's a lot to do in here as the animals sleep out there. We got to do half water changes for our fly river turtles. We got to completely change Chief Brody, the alligator snapping turtle, and we're gonna pull him out to take a close look at him, and we're gonna do some other fun things in here. So let's get started. This is why I like having a gravel floor in here, because everything just drains right down into the floor and I don't have to worry about it at all. It goes right back to the earth and then we're good to go. Okay, while these drain and then fill back up, and the reason I'm doing that is because you don't want fly river turtles to get too chilly. You want to keep some warm water in there, and also the biology that hangs out in the sponges and also the sand at the bottom of these units is very important to the health and water quality of that species of turtle. So not much else to do there except let them fill up. But while that happens, we're gonna pull out our baby Mexican and baby Florida box turtles that are growing by leaps and bounds and give them a little soak. So here we go, let's look for them. Oh, I see a bunch. Wow. You know, it's kind of funny. They're hanging out by species. I've got a bunch of Mexican box turtles hanging out all together right here. And I guess the Floridas are in a cluster somewhere else. Oh yeah, I see some. Look at these guys, look at them. They're just getting so big. And remember guys, these turtles hatched just last summer. Summer 2023 hatches, and these animals are, I mean, they're just absolutely huge already. Here's another Mexican species of box turtle. This is the one and only Cohelan box turtle that we're raising here. But interestingly, this one is already 2 years old. Well, almost 2 years old. Let me correct myself there. This summer it'll be 2 years old. So you've got only like 6 months and a year and a half of age. That just goes to show how fast these Mexican box turtles grow compared to other box turtles. Here's some beautiful Floridas. And these guys are the same age. But look, one is smaller, one is larger. And we're gonna clean them off. We're gonna use an old toothbrush to do that so you can see how beautiful they really are. But let me get them all first. Last Florida, and we've also got a Yucatan box turtle. So in this container right here, we've got 3 of the most well-known of the Mexican box turtle species. You've got Terrapene yucatana, which is the Yucatan, Terrapene mexicana, which is the Mexican, and then Terrapene coahuila, which is the Coahuilan box turtle. And then right here, one of my all-time favorites, the Florida box turtle. Looks awesome. Now the reason I like to clean them off with a toothbrush, which you can use for your animals if need be, it's very safe and it's soft, is because when they live in an environment like this indoors, remember these animals love mud and dirt and burrowing and hiding under leaf litter. So in a setting like this where there isn't like rain coming all the time and whatnot, these animals get extremely dirty. So every once in a while, I don't overdo it, I like to pull them out, give them a nice soak, and clean them off with a toothbrush so I can really see what's going on with them. Make sure that there's nothing that's happened to them, that there's nothing like shell rot, encroaching, or damage that they could have done to each other. Because these turtles, again, they're growing very, very well, some growing very fast, and well, come this summer, they're gonna be ready for an outdoor enclosure, which is super awesome because that doesn't always happen this quickly. But you can see right here, these animals are rock solid. So that's gonna be the goal. This upcoming season in the spring, we will build a nice predator protected outdoor enclosure for these amazing upcoming box turtles. And these were all hatched right here from our adults. So talk about rewarding. It's just incredible to see this. All right, they can get a nice soak. Let them do that. Let's move on to Chief Brody. Here he is. All right, Brody. Oh, you're fighting me. That's a good sign. Okay. Time for a little health inspection, pal. There we go. What's up, dude? Look at him go. So remember, Brody is our rehabilitated, or still in the process of being rehabilitated, alligator snapping turtle. He's been here a little bit over a year, and if you guys have been keeping up with the videos, then you will recall that our veterinarian suggested we keep him awake inside our reptile building for one more winter, just to put a little bit more weight on before staying outside from there on out. He has that huge, massive pond outside, so he's just got to spend a couple months in a tub in here so we can monitor him and get some more weight on him. But he's making leaps and bounds, guys. He's doing so good. Absolutely amazing turtle. And he eats things like, he eats fish, and he eats crustaceans and mollusks and stuff like that, and even some fruit. So his water gets dirty very quickly, so we have to do frequent water changes, which of course is just to keep this big bad boy healthy. You look awesome, Brody. I'm gonna fill your tub back up so you can get back in the water. Okay, even though there's a lot of work to be done in here, I have to have my fun and nerd out on something. I'm gonna show you an animal that you have not seen on our channel yet. This, guys, is Bushveld's rain frog, a species of frog, not a toad, that comes from Africa and spends the vast majority of its life completely burrowed underground. And they actually occur in arid type settings. And the reason they stay all the way underground is because that's where the moisture is. They're called rain frogs because they only come out when it rains, and that's when they will come out and gorge themselves on as many tiny insects as they possibly can. Ours eat little crickets, among other invertebrates, and they don't hop really. What they do is they kind of just walk around, but then when you put them down on the substrate, they do something really, really cool. So, go ahead, show us what you can do. There it goes. It's using its back feet to dig all the way underground. Isn't that amazing? Sometimes they'll sit like that so that they can ambush something, but yep, this frog is going all the way under, and before you know it, well, there's really not much to be seen at all, except maybe an eye or a mouth or nothing at all. Bushveld's rain frog, a very rare frog that you do not see much of, and normally we don't bother them at all. We just leave them alone and feed them, but because they spend so much time underground, and this is a captive management setting and they're not in the wild, we do have to pull them out from time to time, make sure that they're getting well hydrated. We of course simulate rains for them, which brings them to the surface, and they are just so incredibly adorable and I love them. They're so cool. Oh man, just because it's cold out does not mean we don't always have a ton of work going on, right, Brody? You look awesome. Let's get you back in this tub, and I'm sure you're very hungry too. There you go. Nice clean water. Guys, we have a really cool announcement. We now have brand new merchandise available right here on this YouTube channel. All you gotta do is go to the store tab at the top of the channel page and you will see some exclusive designs right now, Otis and Chief Brody, that Casey did all on her own. She hand drew and painted and designed these two, well, remakes of some of our absolute favorite monster movies, if you will. So please head on over to that store, pick something up if you like it. Every single dime goes right back into what we do here for all of these amazing animals. Well, that was an eventful last 2 days, but the fun's not over because they're forecasting snow again tomorrow. So I might as well get some rest because the work continues again.